Among the more prominent Big Ten teams impacted by this ruling, the Wisconsin women's volleyball team, NCAA runners-up a year ago. Their head coach, Kelly Sheffield, joins us. Coach, you had the uncertainty after the Big Ten canceled fall sports. You had this gap here where you didn't know what the NCAA was going to do. What does it mean now to have this clarity and to understand that the sport has postponed its championship?
You know, you get some problems solved and then some others present itself. And so, I think we're still trying to figure this thing out. Still trying, I'm sitting here this morning trying to figure out what our future scholarship situation could be looking like. But I think that the main thing is that, with the scholarships, like you were talking about, there's options for the kids. It makes it tough for the coaches trying to figure some things out down the road. But it's student athlete friendly, which is critical. Hopefully we'll be able to move forward in the spring. It's a lot more uncertainty right now, but it seems like every week we're getting a little bit more answers.
You mentioned the scholarship component of it. I find it particularly interesting with your team. I mean, you have Sydney Hilly and Dana Retke, your two best players, two All-Americans, who in essence now have been granted an extra year of eligibility. And assuming you play this year, it means you have seniors who now have 2 years left, or that you play this academic year. What discussions have you had with them now about what their options might be going forward?
Well, I heard from Hilly immediately saying, I've got 2 more years in me. Let's go. It's not just those guys, but you've got a Grace Loberg and a Molly Haggerty and a Lauren Barnes. It's a lot of people in that class. And, all of them have told me, hey, if we don't get to play this year, they're in for the fall. What does that mean if we play something of a spring season and then stick around for a fall? I don't know. We've got some interesting conversations. I think every school's got to figure out this, what they're going to allow and not allow for scholarships moving forward.
You mentioned the plans for what it might look like in the spring. I know the coaches have already submitted a possible schedule to the conference. What is your idea for what's kind of the ideal solution here?
Dave, I think a lot of it depends on what the NCAA tournament is going to look like. We don't think it's going to be 64 teams. That would be really, really nice. But if it's 32, is it 32 automatics? One from every conference? Is it all at large bids? I can't even imagine an NCAA tournament where only one Big Ten team gets into it. I mean, this conference is so gnarly. And, it usually gets about 8 or 9 schools in. To only think about one, it's unbelievable to think about that. But I think we've got to get that component and then work backwards. Do you have a full 20-game schedule? I think that'd be fantastic. Maybe you just go round robin in a Big Ten tournament, which is something we've never had in our sport. And then the winner of that moves on. But I think we got to get the NCAA tournament component figured out first.
How do you get them to refocus now?
We're hitting the reset button. We'll start training as a team. It was tough during the summer, but I noticed the first day of practice when we got everybody in the gym, it was totally different. I mean, they were just where they want to be. The energy was high, the joy of playing and being around each other. We're hoping that we don't get limited on the amount of hours that we get with them, because it's, especially if they're going to be all online classes, and stuck in their apartments, man, they want to get out and run. And get better and get better as a group. And so we're certainly looking forward to that day next week.
Kelly Sheffield, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on all your success at Wisconsin. We look forward to seeing your team back out there at some point this academic year. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for having me, Dave.